What's good, everybody? This is your boy, Rob, a.k.a. RP3 Tech Reviews. If you happen to stumble upon this, you have stumbled upon the inaugural podcast, a.k.a. TechCast of RP3 Tech Reviews. Now, let me tell you a little bit something about myself. I'm a YouTuber. Been doing it for about 4 years. And I decided, hey, let's venture off into podcasting. So, without further ado, let's get this show going. What's good? What's good? What's good in the hood? What's good with everybody? This is your boy, RP3. Yeah, you heard it. RP3. Yeah, I got a podcast. I'd like to give a shout out to some of my fellas, Team 100. That's Mr. Alan Anthony, Phone Tech at Work. Forbes Tech Review. The Tech Gentleman, Mr. Eric Kelly. Android Stud. Leo, my man BG Tech Life, and myself. Together, we are Team 100. We stream on YouTube, and I'm a member, Robb Pouncy, RP3, and I decided to do a podcast. Yeah, I needed to do something to kind of stretch my tech muscles here, and so I decided to do a podcast. But for those out there who don't know who I am a YouTuber. I have a tech YouTube channel where I review mobile tech, headphones, speakers, you name it. I have probably reviewed it. And I do live streams on YouTube with a group of guys. We call ourselves Team 100. And we stream Fridays. It all depends. But lately we haven't been able to stream, so that's another story altogether. I'm not going to peel back the curtain on that subject. But let me tell you a little bit something about myself. I am married, father of 5 grown kids. I know I don't sound that old, but I'm a pretty old guy. I work in the automotive industry, and I YouTube as a hobby, and it's something that's really fun and cool to do. And I figure I can find that same type of energy and excitement doing podcasts. But my YouTube career started from a rant video that I did about bad service I got from Sprint. So let me tell you real quickly how that went down. I had bought a Nexus 6P. Tried to get it activated through Sprint. Called the operator. The operator told me I had to pick up a SIM card. Went to a Sprint store. Sprint store said, well, we don't have the SIM card. You have to call and order one to have it mailed to you. I said, well, that's going to take quite a while. I want to use my new phone now. Why I got to wait 3 days to get a SIM card in the mail, then call back Sprint and go through a customer service prompt and just to get my phone turned on? Why can't you guys just do it? Well, sir, that's the way it's done. So I called Sprint. Sprint said, no, sir, you don't have to do that. Just go to one of our corporate stores. Don't go to one of those little satellite stores. Here's the locations of said corporate stores. Please go there and get you a SIM card and get your phone activated. I said, thanks, cool. Go to corporate store. Corporate store said, we don't know what you're talking about. We can't activate a phone that we don't sell in shop. I said, but it's a Nexus 6P. They advertise you guys along with Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile to turn these, that these phones will work on your system. I'm with you guys. So why won't you help me out? Well, sir, nothing we can do about it. If we don't sell that phone in a brick and mortar store, we can't help you with it. I'm like, okay. So I went home. I was pissed off. And I was like, man, I need some way to get this out. Most of my friends, they're not into tech. So to hear me bitch about a phone, they probably look at me like, dude, shut up. Quit being stupid. Wait for the phone, do what they say. I said, no, I was pissed. So I'm like, I don't know who the hell they thought I was. I mean, they really played me like I was an idiot. You know what I'm saying? So dumb. I mean, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. They really played me for a knucklehead. So for the most part, I just said, all right, I'm just going to go to T-Mobile. So I went to T-Mobile and got a SIM card, and I never looked back. And the cool thing about it is after I got that SIM card and plopped it into my new Nexus 6P, and I went online to my YouTube channel that I just made and noticed that people was feeling me. They were like, man, I can relate. Sprint playing you. That was the best thing you did. I'm going to do the same thing. And that was real cool. I mean, I was like, wow, the energy from that was real cool. And the love I got was a cool thing also. So after moving to T-Mobile, I got the call from Sprint trying to find out, what was the problem. So I'm like, look, man, I try to work with you people. I'm telling the customer service rep, look, you guys didn't look out for me, man. I mean, y'all, you said, well, what you want us to do, sir? We want you. You're a value customer. You've been a customer for 5 years. And I'm like, y'all must really think I'm stupid if you think I'm going to come back to y'all. You're so dumb. I mean, you are really dumb. For real. I mean, that's how they was going to play me. I was like, nah, dog, I'm not coming back. I'm out. T-Mobile was treating me good. They rolled out the red carpet for me and my family. And they gave me these damn gift cards to pay off my old Sprint bill and the whole nine. And thank you, but no, you can, I'm out of here. So that was the start of my YouTube career, being pissed off at Sprint. And from that point on, I made videos with my Nexus 6P, about my Nexus 6P, and it just, kind of grew from that point in an organic kind of way. And the next thing you know, I'm a YouTuber 4 years later. So let me tell you a little bit about how I envision my podcast going. I envision it being a podcast where I'm going to talk about different subject matters, news stories. I'm going to interview some YouTubers that I know and cool with. I'm cool with a lot of YouTubers out there. If you hear me use the term tech gods, a lot of YouTubers who are under 100,000 subscribers, we all know who the tech gods are. And they are the ones who get all the perks and privileges that come with being a tech god from all the big companies. So, if you hear me, I will probably reveal. I mean, it's not hard. If you watch YouTube and you know who are like the big 5 tech gods are in YouTubing, then I don't have to pretty much tell you any names. But also, feel free to follow me on social media. I'm mostly on Twitter and Instagram. Though you can follow me on Twitter at RP Roman numeral 3 Tech, all one word, RP3 Tech. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at RP3 _Tech Reviews. Also, I will be posting my podcast on my website at rp3techreviews.com. So if you don't happen to catch it through your normal means of getting podcasts, you can always check at my website for my podcast. I'll try to keep it updated with the most recent ones, but in a lot of ways, you're going to be better off getting it through, the normal places you get your podcast at. So with all that being said, be looking forward to some interviews, some commentary, some rants, that type of thing. I'm going to try to keep it in a very light and friendly talk show format as I get used to doing podcasting. I think I'm going to get you're gonna like my sense of humor. I got a pretty good sense of humor if I do say so myself. Anyhow, I'm patting myself on the back, right? Right? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks so. All right, so let's get on to it. Some of the things I want to talk about real quick is pre-ordering. Remember when pre-ordering was the thing to do? Everybody, I mean, there were, especially when a new iPhone came out, people would sit up and literally wait to midnight to start ordering the latest and greatest iPhone. Now, as innovation has been a little stagnated, there's no reason to pre-order phones anymore. There's nothing new. They keep adding cameras. A lot of people don't even know how to work the one camera they got from a phone 5 years ago. And now you're giving them 3 cameras with these special sensors and telling people about bokeh, and you're telling people about wide angles and all those type of things. A lot of people don't care. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, they don't care. They don't. Stop it. Anyhow, so, yeah, I know. Thanks. But anyhow, cameras. Cameras is not an innovation. You know, a lot of people don't know that cameras can shoot in a pro mode. You start talking all these little technical things. Nobody cares about a chipset. You can brag about a chipset and people just look at you and they don't care. They don't care. Get over it. So, I mean, who knows? As pre-ordering to me is going to be, you know, just a thing for the hardcore fans of a particular brand. You got people out there, you got, you know, the Apple sheep, the Samsung Knights, bunch of middle-aged men who troll you if you don't like their phones. So if you ever heard of Samsung Knights, you pretty much know what I'm talking about. And you're going to have people out there who are fans of Google and LG and those phones. And again, like I said, pre-ordering is, to me, unless they come out with that Tony Stark phone they had in Iron Man 3, I think pre-ordering is going to be the way down on my list of priorities when a phone come out, especially this year coming around. I mean, there's nothing really innovative. They keep changing the size of the phones. They're giving the phones different names. The prices of phones have jumped up to over $1,000. And that's another thing that's taking a wind out of pre-ordering, the price. If the phone really didn't cost the same as a laptop, you might be able to keep people hyped on pre-ordering. But now, with prices approaching $1,000, some phones were $1,200. You got phones close to $1,500. It's ridiculous. And pre-order is not the thing to do. Now, what incentives do they give customers to pre-order? Headbuds are not enough. Nobody cares about headbuds. You giving me 3 months of free Spotify service, I don't care. You giving me 3 months of YouTube Prime or YouTube Red, I don't care. I mean, all of those things are cool, but giving me 3 months something free to convince me to buy a phone that's $1,300, those 3 months are not worth it. You're just giving me another bill. So now I got to pay for Spotify, or now I got to pay for, YouTube Music, or I got to pay for something else. They used to give you free, like 200 gigs of Google Drive or something like that. That was cool. I didn't mind that. That was something I can use. I don't stream every day, but I like to back things up. I like to save my information. I'm a techie. I like to save things. So don't get me wrong. I mean, music is cool and everything, but I really can't see myself, constantly listening to the music to gain the value from it. You only listen to music at certain times of the day or certain times, throughout your work week. So again, what incentive do they give customers to pre-order? Another thing I think a lot of places are starting to do, a lot of these companies are doing, they're letting you trade in old phones. Well, trading in an old phone is cool and everything, but you're losing out on a phone that you done paid the previous year 1,000 for, and now they only giving you 500 for it on the other phone, or 400 or 300, depending on the company. Samsung seems to be the most generous company when it comes to phone trade-ins. Apple, they don't. Their goal is not to give you anything for a phone. You're better off selling it, just like on a Swapper or another website that you can sell cell phones at. But for the most part, trading in phones, is I don't know, kind of like a half-ass way of getting you to, jump on board paying $1,300 for another phone. So basically, you think about it, if a phone costs $1,300 and they're only giving you $500 for it, you basically rented a phone for $800. That's a hell of a scam to rent a phone $800 for 12 months. But there's people out there, who would do it. The thing is that Android phones don't really hold their value. So in a lot of ways, sometimes the trade-in is actually a good deal in comparison to the resale value of Android phones. iPhones, though, you can sell them and get a respectable price and not feel like you was ripped off. But with Android phones, everybody knows they don't hold their values, especially 2 or 3 months. It's almost like a car. You drive a car off the lot, you automatically lose $3,000 in the actual price. So, what is actually ruining pre-orders? I think buy one get one free, and major league sales 2 to 3 months after the release of the phone. Those two things. Usually the carriers would do a buy one get one free to try to move inventory, and a lot of people know now, you should know now, that those deals are coming literally 30 to 60 days after the launch of these major phones. So that's another incentive not to pre-order, knowing a better deal is to be had a month or 2 months down the road. So people, be smart about this. Don't fall for the okie doke no more. These phones cost way too much. And if you're really patient, and if you can go 4 months, 5 months after the launch of a phone, you can get it at a reduced price. Probably $200 or $300 cheaper than what it was at launch. So again, patience and being smart and picking the time to buy a phone can help you save a lot of money. Now, if you think about it, in the fall, when you got the iPhone coming, Samsung's latest Note, and the latest Pixel phone, Black Friday, there are going to be some sales. The week before Christmas is going to be some sales. And after Christmas, there are going to be some sales. So save your coins and get a better phone at a better price at a later date. It's not that hard to do. Just don't fall for the deals that they try to give you at launch, because those very same deals are going to be included with the discounted price later on. So I guess that pretty much does it for my rant about pre-ordering phones and not running out to get it. So again, people, be smart about it. don't rush out and be a sucker for pre-ordering anymore. It's almost better than to buy a phone from the previous year. Maybe that'll be a good subject to talk about down the road. Do you buy this year's flagship or do you buy last year's flagship? Anyhow. Well, that pretty much does it for my inaugural podcast. Like I said, be on the lookout. I'm going to do some interviews as I get more comfortable with this format. It's actually, to me, a little bit different. I was very nervous in the start of wanting to do this. And hopefully, as time goes on, I'm going to flip this into some live streaming podcasts where I will have the guests with me. I may do the podcast without the live stream. I'm going to flip-flop it, do some things, give this, find out what works for me. So I kind of think maybe the next couple of months, it's going to be a nice filling out period. But most definitely, I want to have guests do the talk show type of format podcast. We're just going to be tech, and I'm going to try to mix in a little social issues with the tech. For example, one thing I would like to talk about is how you manage your kids with technology, because they can do something today that can really mess their future up 5, 6, 10 years down the road when it's time for them to be an adult and go out in this world to get a job. How do you try to help your kids manage and get through that type of those years where they make the most mistakes at? And now they're putting their mistakes out on social media, and those mistakes last forever. So that might be something you might, I'm quite definitely will be talking about something, talking about that, to give you an idea of how I'm going to try to intertwine maybe a lot of little social things into my podcast. And again, I will be interviewing my fellow YouTubers out there, so be on the lookout. I will be contacting some of you guys down the road. I'm going to try to get to as many people as possible and interview you. We're going to do, if you follow any of my streams before with Team 100, I'm going to have the 5 questions of tech in my podcast. So be prepared to hear a lot of those and call in guests. It's going to be fun. So if you like this, hey man, support me. I really appreciate it. And again, this has been the RP3 TechCast, my first episode. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Again, I want to shout out Team 100 one more time. I'm quite sure after hearing this podcast, I'm going to get a lot of phone calls from those guys like, dude, when did you do this? Anyhow, guys, thanks for joining my first podcast. Be on the lookout for episode 2. Until then, I'll catch you in the interwebs. I'm out.